All passwords are going to be finagle to exclamation point for this demonstration. We're going to start by doing an update and upgrade of the system because we want to make sure that we have the correct Python version 3 and Python version 2, which comes pre-installed with Ubuntu 16.0.4. Take a second. Now we'll also do an upgrade. We'll use the -y flag. That's going to confirm that we're agreeing to all of the items to be installed. And this, depending upon the last time it was run, may take a while. At this point, when you get to the grub bootloader, just hit enter. Select the default. And let it continue. Once the upgrade process is complete, you can test that you have version 3 of Python. 3.5.2 is satisfactory. We also are going to want to manage the software packages for Python, so we're going to install pip. And make sure you install pip for Python3. Once Python 3 pip is installed, another tool that we're going to use with Python to help pip manage the packages we're going to use. It's going to be libssl-deb, dev, build essentials, Python dev. There's a few. And lastly, we're going to make sure that we have virtual environments set up. A virtual environment is going to allow you to have an isolated space on your server for your Python projects. This is going to make sure that each of your projects will have their own dependencies that won't conflict with each other. So setting up a programming environment is going to provide you with more control over your Python projects and how these different versions of packages are handled, especially when we start talking about third-party packages. Okay, that should be all of our Python dependencies. Let's just make sure it works. So we'll go to our user root directory. Let's make a directory that we'll call test_Python. Let's go into that test Python directory. And let's create a virtual environment. And when we do that, that's going to set up a new directory that contains a few items that we should be able to view with the list command. So together those files are going to make sure that your projects are all isolated from the broader context of your local machine and your other Python projects, so that the system files and your project files don't mix. That's also a good practice to use when we start considering things like version control and ensuring that each of your projects will have access to the packages that they need, and only the packages that they need. To use this environment, you're going to need to activate it, and to activate it, let's use the source command. Okay, so now you're in your virtual environment, as you can tell by your command line there. So it's the prompt there is prefixed with the name of your virtual environment, my virtual environment in this case. You have to look at that to determine that you are inside of your virtual environment. So if you want to, we can create a simple command. Let's use VI to create a Python script called test.py. And we'll just do a print in here. And let's save it and quit. And lastly, let's run this Python script in our virtual environment. And to exit out, we're going to deactivate our virtual environment. And that should take you out and back to your original directory. And that is how you stand up and configure Python 3 in Ubuntu 16